Well, it's nice to be joined by Sky presenter Dan Huddy, who's cast his eye over the 9-race card from Pinjarra Harness this afternoon. First race for us here in New Zealand at 4:38, 2 quarties to get involved with as well. Quarter 1 starting on the first race. But Dan, I understand you've been through the form, you've had a look, and I think you've come up with a best bet for us.
Yes, Nicole, thanks for having me again. Look, it's a really interesting meeting. I think there's plenty of depth in quite a few of the races, but my best bet, we'll jump straight into it. We are waiting until the last race. I always hate that, but I had to identify this horse as the best bet of the day. So going to race 9, number 3, Valentine's Brook, going around over the 2185. And I really love the Pinjarra surface because it's such a big, spacious track. Every horse is given their equal chance in the race. And I just think this maps perfectly for Valentine's Brook. I think he's a really class horse, and especially from the Mike Reid stable. I have a lot of time for Mike Reid and his stable. Each horse that he brings to the track, you know they're always in with a good chance. And Michael Grantham is one of my favourite drivers in the West. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Valentine's Brook going around. He's been competitive in some really good races, and I think that's a huge key to his winning chances today. If you go back to his last start effort, he was going around in Group 2 company. This is not a Group 2 in the slightest. So it just goes to show the stable's opinion of him. He's been around in Group 3s prior as well. But last time out, he went around at 100 to 1. So usually, if you're going around at that sort of price, you're not expecting a huge run or you're not expecting much at all. But this guy, he got away nicely, 3 out on the front line. He ended up 3 back the pegs, which is quite surprising. But he just got a really nice cuddle up over the 25.36 at Gloucester Park. And then in the back straight on the final occasion, he was just travelling so well. And again, for a 100 to 1 shot, you're not expecting that in such a deep race. So I really was just taken by his run on that occasion. Coming around the turn, he was able to get into the clear. Looked like he'd run a place, but he battled on strongly for 4th. I just think the drop in distance, 21.85 today, is going to be right up his alley. I feel Michael Grantham stays with him, which is, I think, all important. And he has been consistent this preparation. So I just think that form around him, the races he's been contesting, I think this is a drop in grade, which will suit him down to the T. So I've made him my best bet, race 9, number 3, Valentine's Brook.
Yeah, very strong case for him there, dropping back in grade, and yeah, hopefully he can get the job done for us in the last. And what about some value possibly in the card, Dan, if you liked one at longer odds?
One at slightly longer odds. Again, you're not getting fantastic odds, but in Australia, you're getting at least $8 at the moment. Race number 1. So we're going from the last race back to the first race. And this is a 3-year-old pace. The horse that I've identified is number 2, Real Rocket. And now Christy Elson, she brings a good team to Pinjarra this afternoon. Aidan DeCampo takes the drive with this horse. Now, it's a tough race to get a read on because we've got some quality in the likes of Master Publisher, who's on the 2-day backup, and Kiwis might know him quite well. He was formerly raced in New Zealand. He went around in Group 2 grade in his first preparation. Now with Gary Hall Sr., he's in a fantastic stable. But just on that 2-day backup, I question it. There's other good horses in it like Block York, but just been finding too many excuses of late. So that's why I like Real Rocket. He's only had the 1 start, and that was for an impressive win here at Pinjarra. And again, it's another thing that I really like. He's trialled the house down at Pinjarra leading up to that debut performance. And on debut, he had a bit of a sticky draw. He was on the inside of the second row. And we know in harness racing that can be a positive because you can end up leaders back or you can end up 4 back the pegs and really struggling. So it looked a bit eerie early. He was going to be 3 back the pegs. But what I really liked was the initiative shown from Aidan DeCampo on that day. A horse galloped. He was able to manoeuvre into the 1 out, 1 back and get a really nice run throughout the race. And then they really slowed the speed down. They weren't breaking any sort of records. He ended up taking off at the 800, put himself into the race and really challenged the leader who just had a picnic up in front. And what I liked, as soon as he got up to the outside of the leader, and it's, keep in mind, was on debut as well, is he just kept going. He looked to be getting stronger and stronger as the race was going on. He was left in front a long way from home, coming around the turn. He hit the front. Aidan gave him a couple of reminders. But what I liked, as soon as he straightened, he just put a few metres on the field and he kept on powering away. Aidan was really easy on him late in the race. So I just think that's enough to suggest he has a little bit of X factor. And Christy Elson to be going around in this race, there is some good horses. The confidence has to be there. So if you're getting about $8 about this horse, I think that's ridiculously over the odds for the fresh legs of the field, basically. We haven't seen him that many times. He knows this track well. He knows the distance well. He's drawn perfectly second on the front row. So I just think that's decent value for a horse that we haven't gotten to the bottom of yet. So I think there's a bit of X factor. I've made him my best value on all of those reasons. So race number 1, number 2, Real Rocket.
Certainly looks to be one to follow going out of today as well, Dan. Strong points there, ticking a few boxes at value in race number 1. What about a multi? Have you got a suggested way we may be able to play things today?
I'm hoping so. Again, there's so many horses that you can make cases for, but I don't like to have too big a multi. So I've just nailed it down to 3 legs, and we're going to start race 6, number 1, 7 demerits in what is, I think, a really open contest. It's over the 21.85 again. There's plenty of chances in that race. He draws really well. He's getting to Pinjarra for the first time. So I've got a couple of question marks with him, but I think from the draw, he can run a really good race. So race 6, number 1, 7 demerits the place. And then we're going to back that up into race number 7, horse number 2. Oh, sorry, race number 8, horse 2. Sorry, I should say. And that's Princess Mila. Another one for Gary Hall Senior, Gary Hall Junior. Will be going around at a really short price, but out of Group 2 company last time out. I think this is a really, really good race for this mare. So that for the win. So race 8, number 2, the win. And rounding it home with my best bet on the program, race 9 at number 3, Valentine's at Brook, the win. So race 6, number 1, the place. Race 8, number 2 for the win. And coming home, race 9, number 3 for the win.
Thank you so much for that. Great insight into the card, and also a bit of insight for us Kiwi punters here looking to have a bet at Pinjarra today. Really appreciate your time, and thanks so much, Dan. All the best for everything. Take care, and hope to link up with you again soon.
Thanks for having me, Nicole. Best of luck.